Welcome mates, I'm Bloodthirsty Lord by Yuki Lordy, and we're back on the Paragon battlefield, and I'm going to showcase you the most overpowered Gideon mechanic that exists at the moment. You can use this mechanic in team fights, or when you're versing multiple enemies by yourself, or even in a 1v1 situation as well. And the reason why I'm showcasing this mechanic today is to alert new Gideon players or existing Gideon players that this ability or mechanic does exist, so use it to your advantage to win fights quite easily. And the best part about this mechanic, you can use it to survive, extend fights, and even change the wave of fights. Say if you're losing, you can make it a winning scenario by doing this mechanic. This mechanic consists of one ability and one ultimate, which I've used in a particular way in order for it to work. So that one ability is his secondary ability, Taunt Space, which allows him to travel to a certain area, and this will be our starting ability for this mechanic, followed up by the ultimate, which is called Black Hole. Once cast, Gideon does gain a shield and is immune to crowd control, but also has an amazing ability to bring all enemies towards him while being able to do damage over time to all the enemies in the radius around him. By now, you've also realized how much potential he has in a team fight with damage and CC. Majority of players I see that use Gideon will use Taunt Space to engage, followed up by the Black Hole ultimate, and this would work perfectly if you are fed early game. But the worst part about this is using the Taunt Space to get close to the enemies, but once you've done that, you're completely vulnerable to them if you are not fed, and that if they are fed, they'll be able to destroy you quite easily. So let's get into my mechanic, which is pretty much using Taunt Space and Black Hole. We're going to put that together, Taunt Hole, and just from that badass mechanic's name, you know this is going to be some serious shit. Instead of using Taunt Space as a forward, backwards, left or right direction teleporting device, you want to teleport to the skies, my boy, and once you've done that, you want to activate your ultimate Black Hole while being in mid-air, causing you to channel your ultimate in the skies. So by doing this, you're in an elevated position, causing damage and bringing enemies towards you that are below you, at the same point as you, or the same level as you, and also higher than you if that is possible. So the main purpose of this mechanic is to keep you alive as long as possible, which will cause you to extend fights and stall fights for your team members to come in and help you out. So let's think about this. You're the enemy and you're versing a Gideon that knows this mechanic, but you don't know that at first. So you enter the fight, then Gideon just Taunt Spaces into the air and uses his ultimate, and you're confused as hell because you're thinking that he's going to drop down, but he's actually stuck in midair and he's pulling you towards him, and his team members aren't coming to attack you. So what do? You can't do much because you can't focus down the Gideon that is pretty much elevated on top of you, and the enemies that are on the ground just smashing you. So then you have to make the decision to focus the enemy that is in the air, or focus the enemies that are on the ground trying to hit you. Whatever choice you make, majority of the time you will end up losing that fight and losing that trade, or losing multiple team members in that fight because that Gideon player was using this mechanic and pretty much in midair using his ultimate, destroying you guys. So by now you understand the mechanic, and once you start to use this in your live games and when you're playing Gideon, you'll notice your win rate increase in every match due to that one team fight that you win while using this mechanic. So I hope to see more Gideon players start using this mechanic to their advantage to get those easy wins. So mates, if you enjoyed the video, show your support by smashing that bloody like button. Let's try to get 20 likes on this video. And if you guys want to see more Paragon Gaming content on my channel, all you have to do is share this video to friends and hit the subscribe button to become a mate today. And that is all for this video. Oh, time to go, but don't you worry, we're back very soon. Hang with your hats, boys, because I ain't seen nothing yet. The Taunt Hole mechanic? Really? That sounds dirty as fuck.